Good evening for Madison Community Television and Daniel Hand High School Tiger football. This is Game 7 of the 1990 season from Fairfield, Connecticut, where Daniel Hand Tigers will take on the Lancers of Notre Dame of Fairfield. This is Kent Sprague with Jerry Johnson, Paul Sprague on the camera, Ellen Clausen and Len Richards behind the scenes as directors for this game. We have the coin toss with the captains, Jason Fernstrom and Chris Clausen, in the middle of the field. And we will have this game underway very shortly. Welcome again, Jerry.
Well, thanks, Ken. It's great to be here. This is an important game for the Tigers today. The Lancers do not have an impressive record. They're 0-6. But that may not be indicative of their offensive play. They run a very explosive offense with a run and shoot. And it's a very important game for Hand because a win today will ensure and guarantee a 500 season. So the Tigers are not going to take this 0-6 team very lightly today.
We'll get back to the run and shoot in a minute, but Hand does have a couple of players hurt. Could you elaborate on that just briefly?
Yes, that's right. Justin Spain, a key offensive player, quarterback, has hurt his ankle, and Matt Gentile is going to replace him at quarterback. Matt is not unused to winning. He led two undefeated teams in 8th grade and 9th grade as quarterback, so this is a great opportunity for him to get some experience
today. He's a sophomore quarterback.
And he's a sophomore.
We'll be back right after the national anthem. To where we were, Justin Spain is out and will be replaced by sophomore quarterback Matt Gentile.
Also, Steve Charlin, number 56, who's the left guard, has a lower back injury, and an awfully nice kid, Andy Sima, is going to replace him. He's a hard-working guy. He only weighs about 145 pounds, so he's going to be outweighed out there, but it's a great opportunity for him to see some action. Also, Bob DeZima, number 79, may also see some work at that left guard. But everybody else is healthy today.
Justin Spain is in uniform here today, but we do not expect him to play. Is that right?
I wouldn't expect him to play, and I also saw him warming up, and he's really favoring his left ankle.
We're about ready to get underway here. Hand will get the ball first. Notre Dame will kick off, and here we are underway. Short kick over to the right and heading for the sideline. Flag is thrown. The ball goes out of the near sideline. So we'll start this game again.
If the Notre Dame team does have a weakness, scouting says that it is defensively. What the Tigers are going to do today is they're going to try to run the football and also throw some high percentage passes to keep that defensive alignment in check.
So Notre Dame will back up 5 yards and re-kick. There is a fairly strong wind, and Notre Dame is with the wind. So if he gets it in the air, he may get a deep kick even from the 35. We will start again and try to get this game underway. Back deep to receive are Ned Lynch, 22 on the far side, and John Guinapero on the near side, 88. For Hand, kick off toward Guinapero. He picks it up on the first bounce and heading toward the middle, a center return. Got a little bit of room to run, brings it back over the 35 to about the 37, 38. Hand takes over in good field position to start this game.
2 yards better. One thing we want to watch for offensively also is if they're not running a nose guard, meaning a defensive lineman on the center, John McHenry, number 78, may move over to nose guard, and Pete Clark, number 54, may come in at center. So we'll have to watch for their defensive alignment.
So the first place in scrimmage for Hand, McHenry is at center. Matt Gentile, sophomore quarterback, at quarterback position, hands off to Pete Millard, who's hit at the line of scrimmage, bounces off, and finally looks like he stopped right about the line of scrimmage. No gain. Ball's put down at between the 37 and 38 yard line. We're early in the first quarter, no score. Second play from scrimmage. And the rest of the backfield for Hand are Chris Clausen, 34 at the fullback blocking position. Ned Lynch, a tailback, pitch to Lynch, running right. He's got a little room to run, and he carries it up maybe a yard short of a first down. Good gain, about 9-yard gain.
That was a toss right, Kent. Hand has had some great success with that in some of the previous games, where again they pull the tackle, kick out the end, the right guard leads, and the back follows him.
So about a 9-yard carry by Ned Lynch on the second play, and that brings up a third down and short one for first. Handoff again on the right side to Clausen. First down plus 4 or 5 yards. So Daniel Hand is starting to move the ball on their first possession. Chris Clausen over the right side. The offensive line for Daniel Hand are John McHenry at center. The guards are Andy Sima, 77 on the near side, Joel Donnelly on the far side. Pitch to Ned Lynch running right, and Lynch has got 5 or 6 yards behind right guard, right tackle on the far side of the field.
Well, we're seeing what we thought we'd see with a relatively weak defensive front, and with Hand having some power and some good running backs. They're picking up 5 yards a clip. What they have to do is handle the ball on a controlled basis and not make mistakes.
So Daniel Hand down at the 41-yard line, 2nd and 5. And off to the tailback. That's Pete Millard, who crosses the 40, gains only a yard or 2. About a 1-yard gain by Pete Millard. 3rd down and about 4.
Millard stopped by number 12, Tom Anderson. 33.
The rest of the offensive line on the right side is Justin Kingsley at tackle. On the left side is Matt Young. And we have somebody that jumped the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped. Flags fly. That should be against Notre Dame.
Their left defensive tackle, number 72, went into the neutral zone before the ball was snapped.
And that will give Hand a first down at the 35. The rest of the offensive line, mentioned the tackles. At tight end is Scott Tordoff. The wideouts on the near side for this play is John Guinapero. And in the slot is number 30, Fernstrom. That carry across the right side gains about a yard is all to the 34-yard line. Ned Lynch carrying the ball. This time John Guinapero split to the left, Chris Parcells slot left, and Mott Gentile looking for his first pass, complete pass to Chris Parcells. Parcells has got a little room to run, and he takes it down to inside the 20, it looks like, from here. First pass complete by the sophomore quarterback, Matt Gentile.
Well, you know, he's showing some good confidence in there, and that is a high percentage pass play, and that is the type of passing that we're going to see. We're not going to see it aired out. Good control running game, good control passing game.
So the first pass by Matt Gentile is complete. Pitch right this time to Pete Millard. He's behind the blocking on the right side. Joel Donnelly leading blocking over there. Carries it for 6-7 yards inside the 15, about the 14-yard line.
You know, he was tripped up in the secondary, and that was fortunate for Notre Dame, because if he wasn't tripped up by his shoelace, he might have gone the distance.
I saw number 68, Joel Donnelly, right in front of the ball carrier, clearing a path. Good blocking on the right side. 2nd down for Hand, about 5. Hand off to Ned Lynch. He's got a big hole. That should be enough for another first down inside the 10.
I think it's a little short. No, I guess it is a first down. You're right, Ken.
They only need to get just inside the 10, and he took it between the 8 and the 9, it looks like, from here. So first and goal for Hand at about the 9-yard line. We're still in the first quarter of this game. Notre Dame Fairfield against Daniel Hand. No score, but Hand is moving it down the field. Timeout for Hand. So Daniel Hand, in the first possession of this game, has taken it down the field in good position now to attempt a score. They're inside the 10-yard line, about the 9. First down and goal for Hand. Split wide to the left is John Guinapero. Split backfield, Chris Clausen, and Clausen pulls his way near the 5. So near a 4-yard gain on first down.
That's good power running when you get down in that goal line defense. If you can pick up 4 yards of crack inside the 10-yard line, you're doing your job offensively.
So the ball is sitting right on the 5-yard line with 2nd down and goal for Hand. First possession, Hand is going into the wind. Guinapero out to the left. Parcells slot right. I formation. Hand off to the first man, Chris Clausen, and he takes it to the end zone. Good running, power running right up the middle behind the center and guards. And Chris Clausen takes it to the end zone. Touchdown hand, 6-0. We are at 6:51 left in the first quarter. Daniel Hand's first possession marched the ball from about the 35 all the way down to a score. In to try the extra point is sophomore kicker Sean Lynch, 87. The holder is Gentile. Ball is down, and the kick is no good. Upright. So Daniel Hand leads 6-0. Daniel Hand's first possession against Notre Dame of Fairfield, that was a pretty good possession for sophomore quarterback Matt Gentile. He got his feet wet and marched his team right down the field to score, Jay.
And it was an important drive, too, because it gave Matt some confidence, and he showed some real poise out there. One of the things that you worry about when you have a new quarterback in there are timing in the backfield and some missed handoffs and miscommunication, and Matt looked like he was there all season.
So Daniel Hand will kick off after the first score of the ball game. Sean Lynch has it teed up, and Notre Dame of Fairfield will get their first possession of the game. Low kick, hit the ground and bounces, and it's fielded on the ground just about the 35-yard line.
Ken, what we're going to see from Notre Dame offensively is the run-and-shoot offense, which a lot of people have heard about. Basically, you're going to see a one-back set, and he's a very good back. His name is Noah Evans. He's 6'1", 215, very fast, very explosive. They will, however, throw the ball most of the time. They'll throw it 30 times a game. They'll throw it from first down 60% of the time.
So the run-and-shoot has a lot of receivers out, and the quarterback has a lot of options where to throw, and sure enough, he's back to throw on first down. Complete pass and a short gain of about 4 or 5 yards. Tackle over here by Drew Bowman, Reed Succo, Jason Fernsterman on the tackle.
And number 22, who just caught that ball, he's their most outstanding receiver. He's a slot back. He's also very good in the secondary. And one of the things we want to watch out of that slot is he will run the reverse out of that slot position.
So a short, sure pass, gains only 4 yards, but it is a completion. Straight ahead with the running back, and he gains 3 or 4 yards. That is number 14. I think that's Evans. That is their good running back.
Yes, that's correct. One of the things scouting has also told us is that Notre Dame tends to make a lot of mistakes and lose the football.
That will bring up a third down and close to 4 for Notre Dame in their first possession. The ball is about the 42. And hand off to their tailback right through the middle, and a good gain. He exploded right up the middle. First down for Notre Dame of Fairfield, down to about the 47.
Kent, Hand has revamped their defense to a pro style. They're going to run sometimes a 4-man line, sometimes a 3-man line with 5 under, and they're going to try to get 7 to 8 men in the coverage with 2 to 3 deep.
So first down for Notre Dame at about the 47. And they're running right into the backfield again, and not much there. In on the tackle, Derek Dene closed from the near side, and Justin Kingsley from the far side, and they stopped that play with only a yard gain.
And that's what they've got to do, because with a run-and-shoot offense, if they can get the running game going, it's going to open up the passing game, and that's what you don't want to see.
They have to stop that good running back, or we're going to see him just run the ball all the way down the field. Second down and 9. And it's a reverse this time from the flanker position, going on the far side, and tripped up over there. Drew Bowman upended the ball carrier, and also in on it was number 80, Brian Burrell.
That was a good job staying at home on the offside line. Sometimes when flow goes in one direction, you tend to move with the flow, and that's what makes the reverse work. And as we said at the onset, number 22 will run a reverse from his slot position, as he did just then.
So Daniel Hand played that one very well and had it well scouted, and keeping the defensive men at home on the left side to look for a reverse. And the quarterback is in trouble now. He goes up the middle, gains a little bit of yardage, but he looked for a man to hand off to and didn't find one.
Well, as a matter of fact, he was trying to hand off to number 34, who was their left slot, and it looked like they were coming back with a reverse to the other side, but there was some miscommunication, and the quarterback just had to keep the ball and run it up the middle.
I didn't get the number of the hand player, that defensive man that was right in there close to where he was trying to hand off, but it was good defense. This brings up a 4th down for Notre Dame, and they do have a man in punt formation. Ball down at about the 42, and he is going to kick it. Kick for the far sideline, and nobody back there for a hand, and it goes out of bounds near the 15. So Daniel Hand stops Notre Dame's first drive, and we'll get the ball back inside the 20.
Ball goes out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
Possession, we only saw one pass, and it was good for 4 yards, Jerry. This wide open passing game didn't show much passing. There's a run on the far side by Chris Clausen, and he's got a good gain. He's got at least 9 yards, close to a first down.
Of course, if you recall, Jonathan Law was a passing team, and in their first possession, the one thing that they did was conceal the pass and run, and of course they came right back with the pass. So I would expect their offensive unit to come back and put the ball in the air.
So on first down, Clausen takes it 9 yards, and we have a timeout. Did you see who took that timeout, Jerry? I didn't see who signaled it.
I didn't. I believe it's
timeout.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame timeout. We will pick up play with 2:52 left, first quarter. Daniel Hand leading Notre Dame of Fairfield 6-0. It's second down and 1 yard to go at about the 22. Hand off to the right side, Chris Clausen. He's got the first down plus another 5 or 6. Brings it up to the 30-yard line.
You know, Donnelly and Kingsley are really opening up some holes on the right side of that line. They're giving the running back an awful lot of room to run up the hole.
So if they can get 5 or 6 yards every time they try it, we're going to see a ground game from Hand today, particularly on a breezy day and a sophomore quarterback who hasn't played a lot of varsity football. Hand off again, tailback. It's Pete Millard, and he takes it up to a first down, it looks like. He needs to get right to the 40, and that's just about where they're going to mark it. Now they're going to mark it just short of the 40. Maybe 6 inches short, but a good gain. 9-yard gain, second and short for Hand. So the running game so far, they have moved the ball. Ned Lynch carrying the right side, pitch right. He's got the first down, plus a couple more. Brings it up to across the 40 to about the 43, 44.
Ned Lynch picks up 4 yards and Daniel Hand first down.
I'll tell you, that right side of the line is getting a real workout, Kent. They really haven't come to the left side of the line yet, except I think maybe one play. Let's see if they come back to the left.
On the right side of the line are big Justin Kingsley over there, and the tight end, Scott Tordoff, is leading blocking. This time they're coming to left, and Pete Millard's got some room to run. He takes a tackle, carries it forward, first down and more. Takes it almost to the 40, out to the 42. So Pete Millard shed one tackler and kept it moving and gained about 15 yards on that play.
Good job by Andy Simma, too. I was watching him block on the offside, and he was keeping his man pinned in, and he got a good reach block that time and kept his man from getting in the backfield.
His handoff is to Ned Lynch, and he's got room to run. He's down across and he's still going. He takes a tackler, heading for the near side corner, and takes it to the 10-yard line. So Ned Lynch with a long run that time. I thought he had been tackled, but he bounced off,
well, you know,
and put it outside.
Yeah, that's what you're going to see from an 0-6 team quite often, Ken, is an awful lot of arm tackling, and Ned Lynch is a good running back, and you're not going to bring him down with arm tackles.
So Ned Lynch was stacked up after a pretty good gain, 6 or 7 yards, and then he bounced outside to the near side of the field and took it down to the 10-yard line. That's a first down, and they've got a marker just short of the goal. But handoff this time to Clausen, short gained only a yard or two. Chris Clausen gains about 1 down to the 9. We are inside of 1 minute left in the first quarter with Hand leading 6-0, and they're inside of the 10-yard line again looking for another score. We have time for only another play or two before maybe one play before the first quarter runs out. time Guinapero split wide to the right, Parcells and slot right. And it's a quick throw, slant in to Guinapero, and complete pass down inside the 5 to about the 2. And the clock is running. It'll probably run out with that play, the first quarter. So a quick slant in to the split in on the right side. John Guinapero complete down to between the 2 and the 3 yard line to end the first quarter with Hand leading 6-0 and bringing up third down and about 3, close to 3 for a touchdown. The second quarter, Daniel Hand is down on the 3 yard line between the 2 and the 3 with third down and goal. Pitch this time to the right side, Pete Millard, and he's heading for the end zone. Touchdown Hand, Pete Millard.
Nice block by Joel Donnelly that sprung that play, and he bounced it outside. I think it was designed to go inside off tackle. He bounced it outside.
So Daniel Hand has scored twice, 12-0, with the conversion try coming up. They missed the first one. Do you go for 2 here, Jerry, or do you keep trying to kick it through?
That's a good point. It looks like they're going for 2 here, Ken.
The kicker is not in the game. Drew Bowman is in for extra blocking, and Pete Millard is in at the tailback position as they go for 2. And Gentile is looking to throw in the end zone. Incomplete pass, aiming for Chris Parcells, in and out of his hands, closely covered by the defender there.
That's too bad, too, because that was a great opportunity for Matt to have some points in the game, and he was on target, just thrown good and hard and bounced off the shoulder pads of Chris Parcells.
I've been very impressed so far with sophomore quarterback Matt Gentile. He's had the ball twice in 2 long drives, 2 scores.
I agree, and you don't want to see your star quarterback out for a game, but it's a great opportunity for Matt to get some playing time in preparation for next year.
You can cut it out. So with 11:53 left until halftime, we're early in the second quarter. Daniel Hand has just scored their second touchdown, leads Notre Dame of Fairfield 12-0. And we're set to kick off with Sean Lynch hitting a ball at the 40, and he kicks it to the near side, heading for the sideline. Goes out of bounds. That ball will be brought back and re-kicked at the 35. At 5 minutes left in the first half of this game. Daniel Hand leads.
I may not make it to the prep game. Frostbite. We might.
We will pick it up after the timeout by Notre Dame. Second down and 10 at the 45. Excuse me, at the 30. Deep man, this time throwing to the right side. Complete pass over there. And finally, he's tackled on the far side by Drew Bowman and helped out by Guinapero, Reed Succo.
Oh, they're going without a huddle, Ken. They don't have much time on the clock.
Hurry up offense. Down to 1 minute left in the second quarter. Shotgun formation. Quarterback looking to throw to the left. And now he gets away from 1 tackler, gets away from 2 tacklers. Finally throws the ball, almost intercepted by Reed Succo. He got 1 hand on it. The quarterback was living dangerously back there. He had some people that got a hand on him, but they couldn't bring him down.
And because of that pressure, he did have some receivers that were open, but because of that good pressure coming from the inside line, he wasn't able to read his open receivers, hence he didn't get the ball away quick enough.
So second down and 10 with 51 seconds left. The ball is at the 43. This time Notre Dame floods the receivers to the near side, the left side. And no running back in the backfield at all. They're just looking to throw all the way. Almost tackled by McHenry. Now he's finally brought down on the far side by Matt Young. And who's the other one over there? Matt Young and Derek Dene.
And that was good pressure again. There was good coverage, however, that time in the secondary, which allowed the pressure to get there and the sack to be attained.
So that's about a 10-yard loss. We're down to 34 seconds left before halftime. Third down and about 20. So Notre Dame takes their last time out of the half with 34 seconds left on the clock. Third down and 20. And a ball at about the 34. This time the receivers are all split wide to the left side. Handoff up the middle, draw play, and that play is tackled immediately by Matt Young. Stops the play back there.
Now we just had timeout by hand. We've got fourth down. Hand called a timeout with 27 seconds left to see if they can get some more points on the board.
And Notre Dame does have to kick this ball into the wind, so they have a possibility of a run back here. We'll be back shortly after the play is picked up. Oh, this might bring up an interesting play with only 27 seconds left in the half. Fourth down and 20 to go for Notre Dame. And Hand has stopped the clock to try to get a run back. It's kicked out, pretty good kick. Heading for Lynch, and first man down gets a hold of him, so no return there. Lynch is tackled immediately. I didn't see where they tried to set up the return on that kick. Jerry, did you?
No, nevertheless, they did have good coverage by number 73 who got downfield and was able to put the hit on Ned before he got going.
So Hand with the down to 14 seconds and running here before halftime, and Gentile is going to air it out. Long pass on the left side, and there's a collision over there between Guinapero and the defender, and the referee says incidental contact. No penalty flag. Incomplete pass. 6 seconds left in the half.
Guinapero tripped even before he made contact. The field isn't a great field out here. There's not a crown on the field, and there's not good drainage, and it's kind of slippery out there.
So this should be probably the last play before halftime. Guinapero split to the right this time, and it's pitched left to Lynch. He's got a little room to run over on the far side, and he is brought down right at the 50, but that should run out the first half. The first half ends with Daniel Hand leading Notre Dame of Fairfield in Fairfield, 12-0. We will pick up a bit of the halftime band performance by the Daniel Hand High School Marching Band, led by Pat Schonk, very shortly. Back to begin the second half of this game between Daniel Hand and Notre Dame of Fairfield with a score 12-0, Daniel Hand leading. And so far, Jerry, the defense has pretty well shut Notre Dame down.
Yeah, they have. I think they've only had maybe one first down. I don't believe they've gotten across midfield.
So a short kick by Sean Lynch to start the second half, and it's fumbled and recovered by Notre Dame at about the 42. So Notre Dame takes over in good position.
You know, Ken, one of the things we were talking about at halftime was that it hasn't been a real exciting game thus far. And of course, we didn't expect to see that from Hand's offense. But that's one of the things that Hand's got to be very careful about is keeping their enthusiasm high and emotions high, because this offensive team can burn you.
And their familiar set with three receivers to the wide side of the field right, and one running back, pass across the middle complete to their receiver for a first down and more. He's got about 12 yards on that play.
They ran a crossing pattern with their two slot backs, and that time the slot back crossing on the inside was open. And what I've noticed in the whole first half, when they run those trips to either side, the far end seems to be open on the outside almost on every play.
So a first down for Notre Dame, about a 12-yard gain. They're down to the 47. We're early in the third quarter. Daniel Hand leading 12-0. Quarterback straight back to throw. It looks like a center screen, and it's thrown to the tailback there, and he gains 8 or 9 yards on it across the 40. Finally tackled by a host of players, including Fernstrom. I didn't see who the other tacklers were on that particular play. That's that center screen. I hadn't seen before.
Exactly. We mentioned that earlier, and that's what the run and shoot will do to try to keep your defense honest, is run that center screen, reverse and draw.
So they need about 2 for a first down, 2nd and 2. Quarterback looking right down the middle. And now he brings the ball down, and McKinnery finally brings him down by the ankles from behind. Enough for a first down, it looks like, however.
You know, again, number 82, their far right-hand receiver was wide open.
So that should give him enough for a first down. Just got across the line needed for a first at about the 36. So Hand can't play too conservatively here. This is about as deep as Notre Dame has gotten the whole game. They're down at the 36 because leading only 12-0, 2 scores could put the opposition ahead. Man in motion this time, pitch to the motion man, and he's going around the right side, and he is met over there by Drew Bowman, who closed quickly.
That time they put their slot back in motion, the right-hand side, and as I mentioned earlier, what Hand will do is they'll adjust to that motion. I watched Reed Succo go in motion with that slot back, so they won't be outnumbered on that far side of the field.
So Drew Bowman came in low, and Scott Tordoff over there playing the far side rover position protected the corner for a 2-yard loss. Motion man again. Handoff right up the middle, and the ball is loose on the ground.
Looks like it's handball.
Hand man has it. It's recovered by Justin Kingsley.
Now that's their first turnover of the game, and this is something that Notre Dame has had some difficulty with all year.
So Kingsley came up with the ball after a gain of 3 or 4 yards right up the middle by Notre Dame. Hand's first possession in the third quarter. Quarterback Matt Gentile still in there. Pete Millard carrying the ball around the left side, and he's got 5 or 6 yards on first down. This is Kent Sprague with Jerry Johnson, Paul Sprague, Ellen Clausen, and Lynn Richards, who are the key grip and the gaffer, I guess, is their position in this for Madison Community Television. The 7th game of the year. Hand is 4-2 at this point. Hand off to Ned Lynch, right up the middle. He's got a first down, plus a yard. Brings it near midfield.
Ned Lynch and first down.
Hand's offensive line is just overpowering the defensive line of Notre Dame, and they seem to be consistently picking up 5 yards a crack.
There's no need to pass a lot when you can get 5 yards on every carry. Drew Bowman is in at the fullback position here, and he gets the ball. And again, he's right up the middle for close to 5 yards.
No, that was a great block by Andy Sima. It was a trap block where Andy pulled inside. Little Andy's about 145 pounds, made the key block that allowed that play to gain 5 yards.
Drew Bowman picks up 5, second 5.
Clausen back in fullback. Ned Lynch in a tailback position. Clausen gets the ball. First man through, and he's got a first down and more. He gains 7. So he takes it across the 40, down to about the 38.
Same blocking scheme again, trap block by Andy Sima, and that time Clausen popped just outside the block.
So 2 runs, 5 yards and 7 yards. Hand is marching the ball down the field. We're early in the third quarter. 7:40 left in the third quarter. Pitch this time to the right side to Pete Millard. He gets to the 35. Didn't quite get his 5 yards that time, but he got about 3.
brought down by Notre. Second and 7.
Ned Lynch brings into play. He and Pete Millard shuttle in plays for Hand. Guinapero split to the left. Gentile looking to throw left. Got a man over there. Complete pass to Guinapero. He's got a first down plus 7 or 8 more. Down to about the 21.
And Guinapero was wide open. There was no one within 7 yards of him, just standing there waiting for the ball.
So with Justin Spain out hurt, has not played in this game, and we do not expect him to play, although he's in uniform. Matt Gentile is leading the team, and he's done a pretty cool job of it so far. First down for Hand at about the 21. Hand off to Pete Millard. He's going around the left side. Not much running room there. Gained a yard.
See, that was a quick cut. He started going outside, and he cut it back inside. A real quick feet on the part of Pete Millard that time. Nice cut inside.
So he takes it to the 20. Second down and 9 for Hand.
Pete Millard picks up 2 yards. Brought down by Ryan Lynch. Second and 8.
Gentile rolling right, looking to throw. Now he throws it. Complete pass. Across the middle. That should be enough for another first down. That pass is completed to Chris Parcells.
You know, that time Hand had their own version of 3 receivers to the right, flooding the zone.
Gentile, Chris Parcells, good for a first down.
So
Goal at the 8-yard line.
the ball is now at the 8-yard line. First and goal for Hand. Leading in this game 12-0, third quarter. Halfway through the third quarter.
It'd be nice to see a score in the air. I think that would be great for this young quarterback.
Split backfield with Millard and Clausen. Hand off to Millard. He's got a little bit of room to run. Gains 3 or 4 yards. Still looking for yardage.
You know, you can see some great second effort from these backs in the backfield. They just won't go down on the first hit.
So they've spotted the ball about the 5-yard line. Third coming out.
5-yard line brought down by Dan Durkin. Second down.
Second down, excuse me. That was the first down play. 2nd and 5 for a score for Hand, leading by 2 touchdowns. And off this time to Ned Lynch, and he's heading for the end zone. And he should have it. Touchdown for Hand. Right up the middle behind the blocking of the center, John McHenry, and a left guard, who I believe is Donnelly, isn't it?
I believe that's Andy Sima.
Is that Sima? Okay.
Getting his first start of the season today. And he's doing a heck of a job out there, Kent.
With Steve Charlo, who has played all year at the guard position, out hurt. Andy Sima is in there and has done a good job of blocking. Going for 2 on the conversion try.
He's
pass
open.
On the left side, aimed for Drew Bowman, incomplete. That was a pretty good pass, but it could not be handled by Bowman. So the score remains 18-0 with 5:03 left, third quarter. Daniel Hand leading Notre Dame of Fairfield. Score is going to kick off. Sean Lynch has it teed up, and it blows off of the tee. We do have a couple of players in the game who haven't played a lot. Number 5, John Lundberg, is in on the coverage team. Number 84, Mike Udacek, is also in on the coverage team. And number 7, Matt Gentile, is also in on the coverage team. He's been playing the whole game at quarterback. Low kick, bouncing, and it's not fielded by Notre Dame. They're going to have to fall on it down at about the 25-yard line. So Notre Dame gets the ball back. And a large pile up there with Scott Tardoff and Jason Fernstrom on top of the pile. Gentile on it too.
You know, that's
and
the purpose.
Udacek.
That's the purpose of that kind of a kick. Those squib kicks are very difficult to handle, and that time it bounced off of one of the Notre Dame players and was almost recovered by Hand.
So Notre Dame will take over short of the 25, about 24-yard line. This time Notre Dame has 3 receivers split to the right, single setback, and throw across the middle, complete pass, and it's tackled in there by Fernstrom and finished off by Scott Tardoff. Complete pass, enough for a first down for Notre Dame.
That was the same crossing pattern that they ran on the inside with their 2 slot backs. With 34 crossing in front, throwing to 34. But again, I've been watching the outside end, and he's been open on almost every single play.
So first down at about the 36 for Notre Dame. Trailing in this game by 3 touchdowns to hand. Motion man coming to the near side. Quarterback looking to throw to the right. And it's intercepted by Drew Bowman. He's heading for the end zone. There's nobody going to catch him. Touchdown hand. Drew Bowman cut inside the receiver on the far sideline, made a clean interception, and he had nobody to beat without falling down by himself all the way to the end zone.
That was a great play on the ball by Drew. The ball took an awful long time going across the field, had a long distance to go.
And thrown into the wind.
And into the wind, had a long distance to go. Gave Drew enough time to get a jump on the ball and got right in front of the receiver and picked that ball off. I think that makes up for his dropped a 2-point conversion, Ken.
Well,
I think he'd rather have 6 than 2.
I'm not sure he dropped that. It was a hard one to catch, although it was catchable for the conversion. Sean Lynch in to try the point after. Matt Gentile, the holder. Ball was put down, kicked up, and no good, says the referee. Off to the right side. So the score remains with 3:53 left, third quarter. Daniel Hand leading Notre Dame of Fairfield 24-0.
Yeah.
Daniel Hand's 4th touchdown. They haven't got a conversion yet, Jerry.
Well, if they can keep putting the ball in the end zone, that's okay. We'll take those 6 points.
They don't need a conversion. 24-0. Sean Lynch, kickoff. And another low kick, hit, fumbled by the up man and recovered at about the 44. So Sean Lynch hit it hard and low, and it was knocked down and recovered by Notre Dame, 44-yard line, with 3:50 left, third quarter. Notre Dame, 1 setback, 3 receivers to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Quarterback looking to throw, and now he throws down the middle, incomplete pass. Had a man open there momentarily in front of Ned Lynch and Drew Bowman. That's not Drew Bowman, that's Chris Parcells, 18 rather than 16. So incomplete pass, 2nd and 10.
And that is his favorite receiver, number 22. And number 22 was open momentarily, but the ball was just thrown way behind him.
Quarterback straight back, and he's throwing long down the middle, and it's intercepted this time. Nice catch by Chris Parcells. Interception down inside the 30-yard line, about the 30.
The defense that time was giving the receivers a lot of cushion. The ball was overthrown, and with that cushion, Chris was able to be in position to be able to make that good reception. That was good defense.
So Chris Parcells went high in the air to make an interception at the 30-yard line. Daniel Hand takes over with 3:23 left, third quarter, leading 24-0. Gentile rolling left, looking left. Got a man open over there. Guinapero wide open. Got a first down plus another 7 or 8.
You know, it's nice to see the ball going up in the air a little bit, giving Matt Gentile some more experience with the ball. This is going to be real helpful for the future success of the Hand offensive unit.
They not only didn't double cover John Guinapero on that one, they didn't single cover him either.
Right.
He was wide open. The ball is right across the 45. Gentile rolling this way, looking to throw, and it's a one-handed catch by John Guinapero, a diving catch. He caught that ball with his left hand just off of the turf. Complete pass, short pass.
As soon as he caught it, he lifted it up right in front of the ref's nose just to let the ref know it was a catch and not a trap.
He must have glue on that left hand to come down with it. One hand stretched out right above the ground. That play only gained 3 yards, even though it was a spectacular catch.
It was also a good job of Matt to hang in that pocket with pressure.
Gentile rolling left, looking to throw. Man wide open there. That's Guinapero again, and he's got some room to run. Gets by the first couple of defenders, takes it inside the 25.
You know, and I'm glad to see the offensive unit still looking sharp. You know, when you're playing a team like this, sometimes you have a tendency to get sloppy and play down to that level. and they're looking real crisp. They're firing off the ball, and they're setting themselves up for the real teeth of their schedule next week.
So the ball is put down at about the 26. How does Guinapero get that wide open? He had nobody covering him there. Looking to throw to the right side this time. Incomplete, overthrown. Aiming for Guinapero again.
Well, you can get open like that when you're playing a 1-6 team, Kent.
0-6.
I'd rather 0-6.
So second down and 10. The ball still just outside the 25. We're inside of 2 minutes left, third quarter. Quick pass this time, slant in to Chris Parcells. He makes the catch, complete pass, tackled immediately.
That was
Gain
good
of
coverage.
about 5 yards.
Good coverage by the Notre Dame player, but again, what I like seeing that time, Kent, was that's a timing play, and there was good timing between the receiver and the quarterback.
So Chris Parcells goes in the air and brings the ball down, about a 5-yard gain. Brings up a third and a little over 5 to go for a first. Ball just outside the 20. Gentile rolling left, looking to throw. Got a man open there. Complete pass to Parcells over there. He's got the first down and down near the 10-yard line. So they're opening this up on passing to the flats on both sides.
Well, I think that's being done on purpose. There's enough of a lead where this is a great opportunity to give Matt the experience that Steve, I think, would like to have him have as a quarterback throwing the ball a little bit.
So that was a first down, and it's about the 11 where they placed it. Pitch this time right to Millard, and he's got room to run all the way to the end zone. Touchdown hand.
Toss right where Justin Kingsley kicked out, and Donnelly just led the back right into the end zone.
So Pete Millard made a good cutback and took it all the way to the end zone with only 44 seconds left, third quarter, but that takes the score up to 30-0, Hand leading Notre Dame of Fairfield with the conversion try coming up. They get enough touchdowns, we're going to see a conversion yet here.
Looks like it's timeout, Hand.
Timeout, Hand. We'll take a short break. After the timeout by Hand, the conversion try will be attempted by Sean Lynch. Snap down, kick.
There we go.
Kick is good. He kicked that one right through. So Daniel Hand is up to 31-0 with the conversion try on that one. And the coaches meet the whole team and say you succeeded on the conversion.
Well, you know, that was also a good effort because the ball was snapped a little high, and it was a good job by the holder to get that ball down, so the conversion was able to be successful.
That's right. The snap actually was on the wrong side of Matt Gentile, and he fielded it and put it down quickly. After Hand's 5th touchdown of this game, Sean Lynch tees it up once more. He's getting a lot of practice kicking off, too. Now another low kick, bouncer. Hard to handle. It's been touched by one man, and now it rolls behind the last man down, and he falls on it way back inside the 10-yard line. So that low kick puts Notre Dame way back in deep position.
You know, it's good to see the offensive unit rolling against Notre Dame this week, because Notre Dame next week is got a real strong defensive and offensive unit, and then November 10th they've got Stratford. And you know, Guilford's no slouch, so Hand's going to leave this game with 3 opponents that are going to be real tough.
So Notre Dame, Fairfield takes over the ball at about the 9-yard line. Looking to throw, left side. Incomplete pass. Ball is thrown a little bit low, not fielded by the receiver on the near side.
You know, that time they did throw to that far receiver who I've mentioned earlier has been open.
So Hand's defense has kept Notre Dame a considerable distance from the goal line this whole game. Notre Dame finally got it down to near the 30, and turned it over on a fumble or an interception. One or the other, they've lost the ball. That's the reverse, and now the man reverses his direction again.
It was actually a draw, Kent, and I think they had a mix-up because they took their slot back and put him in motion, and he ran right into the fullback who they were giving the ball to on the draw.
So Scott Turdoff stayed at home on the far side and made a tackle, which runs out the third quarter with Daniel Hand still leading 31-0 against Notre Dame of Fairfield. As we begin the fourth quarter, Notre Dame of Fairfield has a third down and about 14 at their own 5-yard line. And they're going to try to pass out of there. Going down the middle, incomplete pass. He led the receiver too much, so fourth down coming up, 4th and long, and should get the ball back in good field position.
He was open that time, though, Kent.
That ball appeared to float a little bit as the quarterback threw it, and no chance for it to be caught because he led the receiver too much. 4th down. Man deep in the end zone in punt formation. Back to receive are Lynch and Guinapero, and he's having trouble getting it out of there, but he finally gets it out. Fielded by Guinapero on a bounce, and he's heading to the right side now up the middle. Crosses over to about the 34 and driven back.
That was a good block by John Lumberg that gave Guinapero the opening to pick up another 10 yards.
But we do have a few hand players that haven't been in the game much. Peter Clark, I see, 54, is in the game. We'll try to pick up the rest of the players that Clark is playing the center position now. Matt Gentile still a quarterback.
Also Rob DeZima.
Rob DeZima in the game. That's Scott Gumkowski carrying the ball. Flag is thrown in Hand's backfield. So that may be an illegal block. Scott Gumkowski with his first carry of the game. And Hand will be penalized on that one.
Holding against the offense.
Holding call on the offensive tackle on the far side. Takes Hand back for a replay of the first down. Now it's 1st and 25. 1st and 20, excuse me. Hand off this time right up the middle. Chris Clausen fighting for yardage. The ball is loose. The referee said the ball is down. The ball carrier was down before the fumble. So Chris Clausen takes it up near the 40.
Well, the referee was right on the spot. The ground cannot cause a fumble, and what he was saying was Chris hit the ground before the ball popped loose. If the ball had popped loose before he hit the ground, then in fact it would have been a fumble.
I'm surprised that Chris Clausen doesn't fumble more than he does because he fights for additional yardage. He doesn't go down easily. Finally thrown across the middle, complete pass down to the 30.
Now, that was a bullet, Kent. He had a little juice on the ball that time.
Matt Gentile threw the ball low and hard, and John Guinapero caught it right off the ground.
You know, you made a good point about backs. Many times what you'll see is fumbles when they're going for that second effort.
So that takes Hand down to the 30-yard line, and it brings up a third down and about 5 for a first down. So they have a long penalty in this drive, and a throw across the middle and incomplete pass. John Guinapero picked it up on a trap hop. It looked like he was playing shortstop for Hand's baseball team on that one. Came up with it clean, but it did hit the ground.
Without a mitt, too.
That's right.
Well, he was wide open, but the ball was thrown a little bit low.
And John Guinapero does play shortstop for the baseball team, I might add, and a very good shortstop. Good hands. 4th down for Hand, 4th and 5 at the 30. And they're deep enough that they will go for it. Gentile looking to pass. He's got a man
wide open.
Complete pass to Guinapero. He's got the first down and more. Down near the 15. So Gentile has looked pretty cool at this point, picking up a 4th down and 5 with no problem.
You know, I think he's got some pretty good numbers. It's too bad we don't have some stats on him today, Ken. I think his percentages are good, and I think he's got some decent yardage.
So Daniel Hand with a 1st down at about the 17. Hand off to Chris Clausen, first man through. Sheds one blocker, but somebody met him head on there. Not much yardage there. Yard or 2, and that's all. Gumkowski back in the game.
Chris Clausen stopped at the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10.
See, number 79 is in there. That's Rob DeZima. Clausen running on the right side and running over people. Carries it down inside the 10. And he's near another 1st down. Looks like they're going to place that about a yard short of a 1st down. At about the 13.
Pete Millard is bringing in the play. We'll see what they'll do on a 3rd and 2.
3rd and short 2 for Hand. And off to Millard, and he's got room to run. There's a flag thrown. A flag is thrown in the blocking somewhere. And it will be against Hand, it looks like. I was watching the referee throw the flag that time. He was not watching a ball carrier. He was watching a blocker somewhere. So on a 3rd down play with a pretty good pickup of yardage, the ball will be pushed back to about the 19. They're down and about 12 now for Hand. Hand off this time to Ned Lynch, and he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there.
And defender number 76 got some good penetration in the backfield that time. I'm afraid that's a little too late, though.
So that brings up 4th and long for Hand, inside the 20. And Sean Lynch is coming in with a kicking tee to try a field goal. This
into the wind.
Be kicked at about the 27. That'd be a 37-yard field goal into the wind. Let's see if he can get it that far. It's a floater, and it's no good. It's low and to the right.
Gee, it looked like the referee that time was going to pick it up and run it back.
The referee could have caught that if he'd have made a dive for it, but he didn't attempt it. So Notre Dame will take over with 7:33 left in this ball game, trailing Hand 31-0.
Well, you know what's been happening the last couple of weeks, Ken, is at Strong Field, Hand's been beaten, and they've gone away on the next game, and they've blown out the other team. So what we got to do is turn that trend around.
You got to quit playing at home. That's the secret to that. Notre Dame takes over. Motion man to the near side. Pass to the near side. And it looks like a complete pass to about the 25, 5-yard pickup. Into the game also for Hand, I see is number 82, Ken Wilson, playing in the defensive backfield. Number 5, Matt Lundberg on the far side, playing a linebacker position. Complete pass. He's got a 1st down, and just a little bit more. Lundberg and Reed Succo are in on a tackle, but that should be enough for a 1st down.
And again, when they have trips to that one side, they're really outmanning the defensive secondary of that side. And that far receiver, who's the receiver I've mentioned all game, has been open, was open that time again and was able to make the reception for 1st down.
Scott Gumkowski is now into the game in the defensive secondary for Hand. Matt Lundberg, or John Lundberg, excuse me, is in. That's a reverse coming to the near side and being pursued by Brian Burrell, but he's behind the play and tripped up over here by 82. And that 82 is Ken Wilson, who made the tackle, but a good gain for Notre Dame. A reverse from the man in the slot position. Is that where he came from?
Yes, he came from the left slot, and Ken Wilson did a good job of shortening up the field forcing the runner to cut inside him. He took on the blocker real well and forced the runner to cut inside and allowed the pursuit to catch up.
So we do have a timeout by Hand with a first down picked up by Notre Dame to the 45. First down for Notre Dame. Hand has the rest of their squad into the game. In the defensive line are Brian Burrell, Andy Sema, Peter Clark, and Matt Young, who are attempting to pursue the quarterback. And it's a complete pass on the far side. And that should be enough for a first down. Tackle made over there by Reed Succo and John McHenry.
But you know what's great about that play? It's good to see these young kids putting forth the effort that they are. That time Peter Clark had tremendous pressure on the quarterback and almost got the sack before he was able to get it out.
Yes, he was. I noticed that he made the tackle on the quarterback just as he threw. So good pressure by Clark, but enough for a first down. Ball is at the 45. Quarterback looking to throw a quick one to the left side, complete pass, and finally tackled after about a 7 or 8 yard gain. I was not able to pick up who was in on that tackle, Jerry, unless you happen to see who the numbers were.
You had several hits. John Lumberg was the first one to put the hit on, and then it was cleaned up by someone else in the secondary. I think
Reed Succo was in on it. So second down and about 3 for Notre Dame, looking to throw to the right. Going across, incomplete pass, and
almost
caught on the deflection by, who is that, 82?
That's Ken Wilson.
That's Wilson. The ball went in and out of the hands of the receiver, and Ken Wilson almost came down with it.
That was good movement to the ball that time.
Third down and 3 for Notre Dame. Quarterback looking to the right this time, throwing to the right, complete pass, and one man to beat over here was 82, Wilson, and Wilson does make the tackle. If he had not made the tackle right there, the receiver had a chance to go all the way for a score. Notre Dame has moved the ball here on this drive. We're 4:50 left, fourth quarter, with Daniel Hand in a commanding lead at 31-0. But Notre Dame is moving the ball down to the 22. Quarterback looking left, throwing long. He's got a man open over there, and it's incomplete pass.
Oh, he was wide open.
To the receiver.
He was wide open, Kent. Again, that's his favorite receiver, number 22. Rolled out right, threw against the grain, but he wasn't able to hold on to it.
John Lundberg had the coverage on the far corner, but the receiver was behind him and had an open shot at catching a ball to take it in for a touchdown. Throwing left, throwing long. He's got a man open over there, and it's incomplete pass.
Oh, he was wide
open.
open.
Of the receiver.
He was wide open, Kent. Again, that's his favorite receiver, number 22. Rolled out right and threw against the green, but he wasn't able to hold on to it.
John Lundberg had the coverage on the far corner, but the receiver was behind him and had an open shot at catching a ball to take it in for a touchdown. But incomplete pass, second down.
Two slot backs to the left again.
Quarterback now looking to the right. He's got a man wide open over there. Cut back toward the middle. They catch the ball and then run back toward the middle. Tackles made by a number of players, including Scott Gumkowski, 26, made the initial hit. Coming off the bottom of that pile is 78, McHenry, John McHenry. And we have an official's timeout here while they look at the spot of the ball to see if it's close enough for a first down. It's very close. They will measure. I kind of like that pass play, though, with a completion wide, and then the runner cuts back to the middle, and supposedly he is to pick up blockers from some of the other receivers there. Quarterback rolling left, looking to throw, and he's being pursued by Clark and thrown down.
Nice pressure. Good job by Clark. He almost got to him before, and that time he finally did. You know, relative to what you were just saying, Kent, that's where you can get big gainers. When you're cutting across the green, whether it's a running back who's flowing to one side and cutting back, or whether it's a receiver who catches it and cuts against the green, you've got flow going in one direction. Cutting against the green against that flow can really produce some big gainers.
So that sack by Peter Clark takes the ball back to about the 18. Brings up second down. And he is being pursued hard, and it's a center screen, incomplete pass, slightly overthrown.
That was Joel Donnelly.
Donnelly, 68, was right on the quarterback.
Put the pressure on the quarterback to negate the pass to the fullback on that center screen.
That brings up third down, and it looks like maybe about 16. The ball is placed at the 18. They could make a first down about the 2-yard line. Receivers on both sides of the field, and McHenry comes through clean and complete pass, touchdown Notre Dame. A nice catch right at the goal line, right in front of Mike Yudacek, but a very good catch. Very good throw, very good catch. First score for Notre Dame. With 3:03 left, fourth quarter, Daniel Hand now leading 31-6 with a conversion try coming. And not a lot you can do about a perfect pass and a perfect catch right at the goal line.
That was a well-executed play.
Notre Dame has 2 men in the backfield, and they're handing off to their runner on the right side, and Peter Clark throws him down. John McHenry also made initial contact, so Clark and McHenry stopped the 2-point conversion try. Score remains 31-6. Notre Dame of Fairfield's first score with 3:03 left in this ball game. They are on the scoreboard, 31-6. Daniel Hand leading with a kickoff try coming up. And Notre Dame players are shifting in all directions here. We may see an onside kick.
I think it's just a little confusion on their part.
And he kicks it, rolls it on the ground on the left side. It's picked up by Jason Fernstrom about the 45. So fielded safely by Fernstrom. That ball rolled very nicely. It didn't take any weird hops.
Ball is down by Jason Fernstrom at the Hand 45-yard line.
So Daniel Hand takes over at the 45-yard line. Sophomore quarterback Matt Gentile has quarterbacked the entire game up to this point, and now into the game is number 8, and that's Scott Hevesy, freshman quarterback that has been brought up as a backup for
Second and 10.
Gentile.
I was going to
So
say I
they're
don't have
letting him get his feet wet.
Yeah, I don't have him on my roster here.
Well,
We're going to have to update this.
I heard before the game that he was in uniform to back up Matt Gentile. So
what a great opportunity for him to be in this game today.
Scott Hevesy, freshman, at the end of the game, pitches to Scott Gumkowski going around the right side. Gumkowski has a pretty good game.
Well, you know, you can tell he's a freshman because the freshmen don't get to have paws on the side of their helmet, Ken. That's kind of a special thing. And
we have a flag down on that last play. An illegal block by Hand on the far side will push Hand deep. Deeper.
Easy. 15-yard penalty, blocking below the waist against Daniel Hand.
Jerry, I don't know how long you've been watching Daniel Hand football, but Hevesy is not an unfamiliar name for Daniel Hand football. Chris Hevesy, quarterback a number of years ago, and younger brother John Hevesy, who was a big tackle, that was a very good player for Hand, who now plays up in Maine in college. Scott Gumkowski carrying around the right side.
Well, you know, there are a lot of families that have had multiple sons playing with the program, and next Friday night is going to be youth football night, and there's several youth football players that have older brothers on this team that we'll see.
So third down and long. Gumkowski running to the right again. Not much to gain there. Just across the 40-yard line. We'll bring up a fourth down for him.
You know, I mentioned that the freshmen don't get paws on their helmets. Well, next week, and this has been the case for all the home games, a representative from each of the youth teams will be on the sidelines, and they'll get a paw on their helmet for being the MVP for their team for that particular week.
So fourth and long, Daniel Hand will punt. And punting is Mike Udacek, and it's caught by a man at about the 34, and he's swinging to the right side. A lot of Hand defenders over on this side. Donnelly here, Glenaparo, and Scott Tordoff on the bottom of the tackle. Tordoff made the initial hit. So Notre Dame will take over this game, this ball again, with only 1:13 left, fourth quarter. Hand with a safe lead, 31-6.
Well, I'm sure what's on the minds of the coaching staff right now is springboarding off of this game, going against Notre Dame and West Haven as well as Stratford. You've got two super teams back to back, and the thing that they want to see is a big win at home.
So Notre Dame had a man hurt on that last play who was helped off the field. Notre Dame in a shotgun type formation. Pass to the left side, complete over there. Man wide open, Udacek in on the tackle, 84. Made the initial hit and followed up by John Lundberg.
That was a nice open field tackle by Mike and some great pressure put on the quarterback by John McHenry.
Hand is laying back and letting the shorter passes be completed. That was about an 8-yard gain. 2nd and 2, and complete pass. And a nice catch by receiver right before Scott Gumkowski hit him. Number 79, Rob DeZima, was also right there to cover the pass. But a complete pass, first down, Notre Dame. We're about a half a minute left in this ball game. Looking to throw left side, man over there, drop, incomplete pass. Coverage by Udacek and Lundberg again. And the clock stops at exactly 20 seconds left in the ball game. Hand safely ahead, 31-6 against Notre Dame of Fairfield.
Well, you know, it's nice to see this Notre Dame team who isn't having a successful season this year, not laying down and dying. They're coming back and they're trying to put some more points on the board, and I think that's a tribute to those young kids that are out in the field.
So 2nd and 10 for Notre Dame. Pass right down the middle, man wide open there, complete pass inside the 20. And And that ran 6 seconds off the clock. It's down to 14 seconds left in the game, and Notre Dame is trying to put another one on the scoreboard. Hand takes a timeout. A play or two left in this ball game. 14 seconds left on the clock. Notre Dame trying to score. And quarterback is hit in there. I didn't see who made the initial tackle.
Nice pressure by Andy Sima and Joel Donnelly and
Peter Clark is in there.
Peter Clark as well.
And Sima, right? So the quarterback is sacked, and they're back with only 6 seconds left in the ball game. About time for one more play. Only coming up in the secondary is Rob DeZima, Ken Wilson, Mike Udacek, Don Lundberg, and a throw across the middle, incomplete. And the clock still says 1 second on it, so we may have one more play.
You know, that time Clark actually got in and knocked the arm of the quarterback. I don't know if you noticed the ball fluttering, but the arm of the quarterback was knocked by Clark, making that pass very ineffective.
I did notice that the ball looked like a wounded duck, but I didn't know that it got hit. So this will be definitely the last play of the ball game. Snap is a little bit low. He's being pressured by Donnelly. Now rolls to the left, throws to the end zone, and it is complete in the end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame. So Hand had several defenders back there, and one took a leap for the ball but did not get it. The receiver did. Touchdown, Notre Dame. And we have a conversion try coming up after the time has run off of the clock.
Well, you certainly don't like to end a win on a score on behalf of the other team.
2-point conversion try coming up by Notre Dame. They're rolling left, throwing left, a man wide open over there. Complete for a 2-point conversion. That takes the final score to Daniel Hand, 31, Notre Dame of Fairfield, 14. So this wasn't a real exciting game, Jerry, but they're playing an 0-6 team, and they did not have their starting quarterback, Justin Spain, did not have starting guard, Steve Charlo, but a lot of other younger kids played well.
Yes, that's exactly right, and I think the Tigers did what they wanted to do. They wanted to come in here. They wanted to come in here with some intensity and get a win to assure them of a 500 season, and most importantly, get a win so they can springboard off this game going against a real fine Notre Dame team of West Haven. And I'm hoping that the people that are watching this telecast will come down to that game and support the Tigers, because it's going to be a real tough game. And it's also an important night because all 4 youth football teams are going to be highlighted at halftime. It's youth football.